I want to introduce our guests today. We have four of them that are involved with Classic Theater Guild's It's a Wonderful Life. Talk about one of the holiday plays that you're going to really enjoy. Right next to me is Peggi Perrone. She is the director, and then next to her we have John Reheuser on, and he is plays Gower, the pharmacist. There, you can tell he's wearing a white coat. And then we have Diane Rivers and Phil Matthei over there at the end. Let's find out a little bit about this wonderful play.
Oh, good morning, Anne.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good.
It's a Wonderful Life is based on the film by Frank Capra. Everyone's seen it, I think.
Absolutely.
The play version by James Rogers is a condensed version. Covers all the main themes and actions in the film. People will recognize. It's a little abbreviated for the stage. There are restrictions.
Well, it has to be because you can't do it all. But
Exactly.
anyway, yeah.
Exactly.
Or you could try.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the important thing about the play is it has the spirit, it has the characters, has the same message,
Yeah.
and all the same fun. Lots of Christmas songs, live caroling. It's just going to be a great performance, and we have a wonderful cast.
And we have Gower, who has a pretty important role. Even though it's small, it's an important role because he creates some of the problems, I guess.
Yes, he does. Do you want to talk about your
I am Gower, the
problems?
pharmacist, and when young George is working for me as a 12-year-old, he notices that I have mistakenly mixed a fatal dose of the wrong medication, and he calls my attention to it. A 12-year-old boy having enough intelligence and enough backbone to tell an adult that he's making a mistake, I mean, that's a strong indicator of what kind of person George was even as a child.
And of course, who plays that young George Bailey?
George Bailey, the young George
Yeah.
Bailey. He is played by Andrew Currier. Or, I'm sorry, no, the brother,
Okay.
Everett Currier.
Okay.
Yes.
So he's a newbie to the
He
stage?
is. Everett's never acted before. His younger brother, Andrew, has.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's why you got the two names.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, good. And Diane, who do you play in the play?
I play Miss Carter, and Miss Carter is a bank examiner. She's very stern and very serious about her numbers.
And of course, the bank plays a very important part
Absolutely.
of this with the collapse of the bank. Yeah.
So I come to the Bailey household on Christmas Eve to settle the books. Who wants that?
No, you're just not a
Right.
welcome person.
No,
they
not
weren't
at all.
caroling you when you walked up.
Right. Yet George and the love of his community and his family even softens the hardest, toughest bank examiner.
Oh, how
Yes.
sweet. Phil, what do you do here in the play?
I'm Martini, the bartender.
Okay.
I show up at a...
Every play needs a bartender, right?
I should be talking into the microphone. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Everybody else has their mics hooked
I'm
up.
sorry.
Yes. I'm involved in a couple of caroling scenes. We have one scene that happens in current time, and then there's another scene that happens during the time that George didn't exist.
And I guess we should tell people, I mean, certainly you must have seen the movie. I mean, that's just such the little bell and all, everybody knows that whole story. But one of the things is that George Bailey feels as though his life was worthless.
Yeah, that's a very important theme. I know that the holidays isn't a happy time of year for a lot of people, and even though George Bailey basically had a great life, his world starts collapsing on Christmas Eve, and he comes to believe that the only way to save his family and his business is to commit suicide and cash in on the insurance policy. So it's a very, serious message, and that the story affords the public an opportunity to look at that place that a lot of people go in their lives, a very dark place. And through Clarence, the angel that most people are familiar with, he's given the gift of being able to see what the world of Bedford Falls would have been like without him if he had never been born. And it definitely wasn't going to be the happy, prosperous place that we see. That's why the original book that the film was based on is called The Greatest Gift.
Yeah, it is.
It's the gift of gratitude, being able to see what you have and appreciate it.
And John, you had your hand?
Now, in a later scene, when we get to see what would have happened if George had not been born, instead of being a a respected professional. I'm a pharmacist that has killed a boy and become disgraced, and he's going about wearing this battered hat in these shabby-looking shoes, and basically he's, after coming out of prison, he's panhandling for drinks.
Oh, yeah. See, and
If
the
George had
difference.
not been born.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
So, and what if George had not been born? Would you have been? Are you in the play?
I think I'm still a spinster who's wishing for a life like George and Mary Bailey and a beautiful home up on the hill that they've developed with their Bailey Savings and Loan and their beautiful family. Yes, I'm very envious of them.
And Phil, were you still a bartender?
Oh, yes.
You're the conduit throughout this film. He's there all the time, serving the rummy over here, you know.
I just partake of my own goods a little more.
A little bit. This is done by the Classic Theater Guild, and it's performed on December the 4th. This weekend you're opening it.
No, that's not to be confused with the radio show version of
Oh,
It's
okay.
a Wonderful Life, also at Proctors.
Oh my gosh! I mean, there's
That
just so many.
everyone's making the same mistake.
Okay,
so
sorry,
thanks for the
sorry.
opportunity to clarify that.
Yeah.
Ann. We actually open on December 5th, which is
5th,
this coming
5th,
Friday, and
okay.
we run the 5th, 6th, 7th, and then the following weekend.
It was that weekend.
12th,
I knew
13th,
it was
and
that
14th.
weekend. Yeah, I guess I got the wrong date there. But anyway, you know what it is. So be
Yep.
sure to check it out. December 5th through the 14th at Proctors Fenimore Gallery. That's upstairs. Just go right on up the elevator, and you got great seats. You're going to be right in the play almost. Yeah. How nice. I want to thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
And making the Capital District a wonderful life.
Thank you.
Thank you.